Hey guys, what's up? It's Meredith. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a Q&A. So I'm going to be answering your questions either from here on my YouTube channel or from over on Instagram. I've gotten a lot of questions lately, especially after posting my most recent video. If you haven't already seen my most recent video, I have shared some really exciting news lately in regards to my cancer journey. So I will link that video in the description box below, so go check that out. And without further ado, let's jump into the questions. Question number 1. Somebody asked, are you judgmental? And I think that's a really weird question because, like, aren't we all a little judgmental? Yes. You are taught from the time you're a kid to like use your judgment, to choose your friends wisely, choose, who you surround yourself with. So yes, I am judgmental, and I try to not be overly judgmental, and I still try to include people and love people for who they are. But am I judgmental? Yeah, I guess I am. Question number 2, someone said, I've had 2 melanomas removed. Fortunately, they were in situ. Is that how you say that word? In situ? Anyways, it had not spread. But how did they discover that your melanoma had metastasized? I will, again, be linking my melanoma playlist in the description box below. And within that, I have my melanoma story, which explains much more in depth about how I got my cancer diagnosis. But basically, if you ever notice this beautiful scar right here, that was from my original melanoma diagnosis in 2016. It was a mole. Your typical melanoma story, you find a mole, you biopsy it, and it comes back as positive for melanoma. I went 4.5 years of just going for regular skin checks with my dermatologist. I never had to have any further scans since it had not spread. At that point, it was in situ also. I really don't know if I'm saying that right. Anyways, so yeah, went 4.5 years and all my skin checks looked fine. My dermatologist never saw anything. And then in about October of 2020, found a very small lump on my side. Noticed it was growing a little bit more, went back to my dermatologist, had it biopsied, and it came back as positive for melanoma. And because I had a history with melanoma, and now this melanoma had presented itself as a lump rather than just a mole, I think they had a pretty good indication that it had spread. So they went ahead and sent me for a brain MRI, which came back clear, and originally a CT scan, and then they did the full body PET scan as well to determine where it had spread. So long story short, I found a lump on my side, and that's how I knew it had metastasized, and then scans confirmed it. Question number 3, it says, do you ever plan to return to interior designing? Really good question. So if you don't know, or if you missed that part about me, that's what I did in a past life before children. I have my bachelor's degree in interior design, and I do miss it from time to time. And since quitting my job when Cove was born, I actually went back part-time before Capri was born, just helping in like a residential design studio and showroom. And since Capri was born, I've been a stay-at-home mom. So I always thought that when the kids went back to school, I'd kind of get back in the gear of maybe going back to interior design. But honestly, I don't know if that's where my head is at, where my heart is at. I don't know if that's what I want to do. So I think that's just one of those things that, you know, we expect, you know, kids in their late teens, early 20s to know what they want to do for the rest of their life. And sometimes their minds change, and I think that mine has. So I still do small projects for like friends and family just to kind of like keep up a portfolio. And like I said, sometimes I do miss it. I don't know if I'll ever go back to doing interior design as my like full-time gig. But never say never. I don't know. We'll see. Question number 4. This person said, I'm trying to go vegetarian for myself and for my family. I have some health concerns it would be good for. Just wondering if you have any recommendations. I don't know if this person meant recommendations as far as like recipes. If that's the case, I have a whole playlist. It's called Food is Life, where I share a ton of recipes. I also share a lot of recipes within my like daily vlogs. So if you're looking for recipes, I will link that playlist in the description box below for you. If you just want recommendations on how to like go about it and stick with it, I think for me, the biggest thing that's helped me is make a meal plan at the beginning of the week. Get your grocery shopping done in the beginning of the week. If the rest of your family is not doing the vegetarian thing and it's just you and everybody else is sticking to their normal diet, it's going to be really hard to stick with, you know, being vegetarian or being vegan or anything that's different from what your family is doing if you don't have a game plan at the beginning of each week. How I typically do it is we'll plan meals, but you know, I might just alter what mine is a little bit. So for instance, we did chicken salad last night and they made chicken salad for them. That's, you know, how we would always make it, normal chicken salad. And then for me, I did like a jackfruit alternative. The night before that, we did chicken teriyaki, and we made ours exactly the same, except I made a separate pan for me that was tofu instead of the chicken. I'll say this, Pinterest is your best friend. Use Pinterest to get ideas for like alternatives for your typical meals. Pinterest and meal plan, those are your best friends. Question number 5, this person asked, is immunotherapy just there to give you more time? I mean, yes. Any cancer treatment that you are prescribed, you know, more time is always going to be beneficial because there are new treatments and new options that are always coming into play. There might be like some sort of clinical trial coming in that, you know, more time is always a good thing. So is it there to give you more time? Yes, it is, you know, everyone's hope that it will put you into full remission and that it will get rid of your cancer completely. But immunotherapy is really, from what I understand, has been such a game changer because it is a different way of fighting cancer than chemo or radiation or any other like targeted treatments in the past have fought cancer. Like, it's a completely different type of treatment to where it is changing your immune system to recognize the cancer, because that's why cancer is so tricky, is your immune system doesn't recognize it as being harmful. And then that's why it's able to spread as quickly as it can. At least that's my understanding of it. But immunotherapy teaches your immune system to recognize those cancer cells, and then your immune system, your white blood cells, can attack the cancer. So even if people go into remission with chemo or radiation, sometimes they're then prescribed immunotherapy to help prevent, that cancer from returning. So yeah, I think I answered that question. Moving on, let's see. Number 6, is immunotherapy an option for most cancers, or does it depend on the specific circumstances? Whew, you're asking the wrong girl. I don't know enough information about there are different types of immunotherapy drugs, first of all. The one that I'm on specifically, it's called Opdivo. I started with 2 different ones. It was Yervoy plus Opdivo. Maybe you've seen the commercial for them. I feel like I see them all the time. And then I did 2 rounds of the Yervoy and Opdivo. And for the past over 2 years, I've just done the Opdivo every 4 weeks. So there's also Keytruda, which is very similar to Opdivo, that is really common for lung cancer patients. But I don't know, other than for melanoma and lung cancer, I don't know enough about immunotherapy for other cancers. So I won't even try to answer that part. So anyways, number 7, let's see. It says, if you need to start the new treatment, what happens, heaven forbid, if it doesn't work? Can you go back on the treatment you just stopped? So yeah, if you missed that part, basically when we decided to stop my immunotherapy treatment, after speaking with my doctor last week, he did say that we would be doing regular scans, and if scans eventually show that the cancer is getting worse or growing or spreading or anything like that, I would go back on the treatment. But he did say there is this new treatment. The immunotherapy drug that I'm on is called Opdivo. Well, this new treatment, he said it's like Opdivo plus some sort of targeted therapy. Anyways, so what was the question again? So if that new treatment doesn't work, can I go back on the treatment that I have been doing for the past 2.5 years? And I guess the answer is yes, but technically this new treatment is what I was on. It's just the drug that I was on plus an additional targeted treatment to where you're kind of attacking the cancer from 2 different angles, essentially, is the way I understand it. I don't know enough about the science behind it. Science is hard. But yeah. Yes, technically, I guess I could go back on just the Opdivo, but I don't think that, I feel like this new treatment is gonna be the way to go. So yeah. All right, question number 8. Do you think your diet and healthy lifestyle helped the tumor shrink? I don't know. It's one of those things, when my cancer returned 4.5 years after my original cancer diagnosis, I will always wonder why it came back when it did, what I could have done differently. And, now that my cancer all of a sudden started shrinking again in my scans, could it be because of my diet, and my diet, exercise, just overall healthy lifestyle? I don't think that that's hurting anything. So I don't know. It's one of those things you just never know. I'm gonna continue doing what I'm doing. And if anything, I feel like right now I'm probably gonna be a little bit more cautious of what I'm putting in my body. I've always been cautious of it, but you guys know that I love myself an Impossible Whopper every now and then, okay? I'm human. I eat cookies when I feel like it because, human. Also have a sweet tooth, so there's that. You know, when I first started my cancer treatment, I was very, very strict about being as, you know, low carb and low sugar as possible. And that kind of went away after I did the first 2 rounds of treatment. I got very, very sick, had really severe stomach and digestive issues after that, to where, you know, I could only stomach like bagels and like carby things, bread, bagels, crackers, you know. And I think that was a little bit of a wake up call that, like, okay, I tried, but, you know, right now I just have to put whatever my body will take into it and keep in it. So I think now that my body has adjusted to the treatment, and now that I'm off the treatment, and hopefully my body can kind of start to heal from the side effects that I've been dealing with from treatment, hopefully I can be a little bit more cautious and like strict on like what I'm eating, because, you know, I have so many people that comment on my videos that, like, you know, you need to watch your carb intake, you need to watch your sugar intake, that's what's fueling the cancer. And like, I know that, okay? You are preaching to the choir. I know that. But also, like, when you're given a cancer diagnosis, you think like, oh, you're gonna do like 6 months of treatment and be on your way. But that's not true. Like, this is something that I could be living with for a long time. I'm still fighting this thing, and it's 2.5 years later. The people that comment that, I'm like, could you really go 2.5 years without eating a cookie or a piece of bread? Probably not, okay? So I've learned to give myself grace over the last 2.5 years. But now that I'm stopping treatment, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit nervous. So obviously I'm gonna do everything in my power to help my body fight the cancer. And because I had such serious gut and digestive issues from my treatment, I think switching to a plant-based whole food diet has helped heal my gut, in which case, like, I do think that my body is able to absorb the nutrients that I'm feeding it, where I don't think it really was before. Everything was just kind of going right through me. Maybe that's TMI, but it's just how it was. And I think that things have gotten better, and I've noticed a difference in my energy levels. I've noticed a difference in my skin. I've noticed a difference in like my hair. I've noticed a difference in just like my overall like well-being. So I think it's making a difference. But who's to say? Question number 9. It says, how are you doing with the breathing issues? One of the side effects I was dealing with, if you missed this, I had basically developed like a very severe like asthma like symptoms. If you follow me, you know, like, I love working out, I love running, I love being active, and that completely stopped me in my tracks. I was used to running like at least like 5 miles at a time, and I could not run one without like having an asthma attack, essentially. Felt like I was like hyperventilating and like couldn't stop coughing. It was really scary. And I guess we don't know for sure that it was from my treatment, but we think that it is. At least my pulmonologist said that she thinks that it was from that. They prescribed a steroid and put me on Advair, which is a daily inhaler. So now I'm just on that daily inhaler, and I've been doing great, and I'm back to being active, running. I have more to update you on the running side of things, but I will save that for another video. So moving on. Question number 10, when is the next camping trip? That is an excellent question. Okay, so for those that don't know, I live in the South. We're in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and it's really freaking hot and even more freaking humid. Yeah, it's pretty miserable in the summertime. Definitely not ideal for sleeping outside and not being in air conditioning. So hopefully we'll have some more camping trips coming up this fall. And honestly, we have pretty mild winters here most of the time too, so we might even be camping through the winter time too. It just kind of depends. It could be snowing on Christmas, or it can be like 70 degrees. You just never know what you're gonna get. So yeah, we're gonna camp as much as possible, but we don't have anything on the books right now. But yeah, just kind of waiting for things to cool off a little bit. And normally when we go camping, it's kind of like a last minute check the weather, make sure everything looks good, and go. Like, it's a last minute decision, so we'll see. I'll keep you posted. Yeah, so that's all the questions I have for today. If you like this video and want to see more Q&As in the future, comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. I do have some really exciting things coming up and things that I want to share with you. So if you haven't already, subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you don't miss when I post a new video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.